This is Michael Dermer, and I am the author of The Lonely Entrepreneur. I hope you enjoyed today's perspective. Entrepreneurs all have our crazy stories. Here's one from The Lonely Entrepreneur. When you're in your entrepreneurial venture, a lot of the people that you bring on are not, frankly, ideal, right? You can't afford everybody that you need, and sometimes people willing to work for a smaller company, aren't the cream of the crop. You have your kind of dysfunctional family, if you will. We were at a healthcare trade show, and when I was there, I was very rarely at our booth. I was usually running around with customers and prospects, and our sales and marketing folks would be at our booth. And I had wandered over to our booth, and across the aisle from us was another company that for some reason I saw a whole bunch of my sales team was over there all the time. And when I realized there was a woman who was actually the chief medical officer of this particular vendor who was across the aisle from us, that was really attractive. And a bunch of my sales guys during downtime would go over there and be talking to her. And so I didn't really think much of it. Obviously wanted them to be working in our booth and not flirting with somebody, but moved on and went through my day. And then later that evening, I was meeting somebody for drinks in the bar, and I happened to wander up to the bar, and it turns out that the woman, the chief medical officer that had been across the aisle from us, was actually sitting with a colleague of mine, somebody that I knew. And so I introduced myself, said hello to my colleague, and introduced myself to the chief medical officer. And I said, I'm from Consent One. And she goes, well, what do you do for them? And I said, well, actually, I'm the founder and CEO. She goes, oh, really? Because earlier today I was talking to one of your guys who was at the booth, and he said he was the CEO. And I said, oh, that was interesting. And we kind of got a laugh about it. And so, the next day I said, let's play a joke on him. And so I kind of wandered over the booth, acted like, nothing was going on, walked across the aisle to the chief medical officer, summoned over my sales guy, and the three of us started talking. And we had planned for the chief medical officer to basically say to me, what do you do for the company? And she turned to me and said, so I've met your sales leader, but what do you do? And I said, I'm the founder and CEO. And at that point, nothing else really more needed to be said. My sales guy didn't say a word and really just wanted to kind of crawl under the table. But what you realize is that, in the early stage of a venture, your family in a lot of ways is dysfunctional. And, you can't bring in all the people that you want to bring in that have all the skills and the integrity that you want them to have to help you build your company. Join the Lonely Entrepreneur community and receive a free perspective of the day. Visit us at lonelyentrepreneur.com/subscribe. And remember, the difference between success and failure is your perspective.